In the 16th century, in the year 1568, the 80 Years' War kicked off. Holland started a rebellion against Philip II, then king of the Spanish World Empire. An empire where the sun never sets. It reached from the Netherlands trough the heartlands of Europe, Germany, Poland, Austria and Switzerland. The coasts of the Mediterranean Sea, Spain, Portugal and Italy. And the newly conquered South American colonies. Because of the turmoil in Europe at that time, the Spanish found themselves fighting for every inch of land that they called home. During this time the Dutch got fed up with the Habsburgian Spanish royalty that was controlling the land. 20 years pass before the Dutch call out their own country. Because of all the provinces claiming sovereignty, a republic was formed under the name Republic of the Seven United Netherlands. The newly formed Dutch Republic went from a 20-year rebellion to a 80-year-long war against the Spanish. By the Spanish king-appointed nobleman Alva, Duke of Alva, was sent to restore order and break the Dutch resistance. To defend the new country against an enemy of that magnitude would require everything the Dutch could put together. Fort Crève-coeur was dreamed up and built by Philips van Hohenlohe and his men to control the shipping around the Dieze. As this river served as a gateway to the lands up north. In between the mouthing of the Dieze River, onto the Maas River, was the piece of ground where the fort was situated. Because of this phenomenal position, the waterways to and from s-Hertogenbosch were kept secure. The fort was a dirt-walled rampart built in two four-pointed stars, better known as bastions. Between 1589 and 1590 both sides fought hard over the control of the fort, even switching sides a few times. But the Dutch succeeded in keeping the fort out of the enemy's hands. 9 years pass without losing the fort. Peter Ernst I van Mansfeld tried to take the fort by force in 1593, using the charge method, but this attempt was repulsed. But in 1599 the Spaniards succeed in taking the fort and they upgraded the site by building a real fort. The next year the fort returned to the Dutch, by the smarts of Maurits of Orange. 2 of the former Dutch forts were guarded by hired Walloons who hadn't received any upkeep in months. Maurits used 125,000 gulden to convince the Walloons to change sides. The fort on the Dieze River and also Fort Sint-Andries fell back in Dutch hands. The site on the Dieze River was once again upgraded, this time by Maurits of Orange. 7 new strongholds were constructed. The fort had a key role in the attacks on s-Hertogenbosch in 1601 and 1603, but both attempts failed as the city stayed in Spanish hands. It took until 1629 to retake the city, roughly 26 years. The fort was repurposed to a defensive position for s-Hertogenbosch. Because of the end of the 30 Years' War, which ravaged Europe and put Spain as an empire crumble. More and more battles were lost and the Spanish Armada was crushed by Martin Tromp, a Dutch lieutenant admiral for the Dutch Navy. He encountered the Armada at Dunkirk and defeated them. He followed the fleet and destroyed the biggest part of it on October of 1639 in the Sea Battle of Douens under the English coast. The Spanish fleet was destroyed beyond recovery. Even the colonial claims couldn't be kept secure by what was left of the navy. In 1648 the Peace of Westphalen was held and ended in a number of agreements between European powers. These agreements also included the Peace of Munster. On 15 May 1648 the peace treaty was signed. This ended the hostilities between the Dutch Republic of Seven United Netherlands and the Spanish Empire. The fort was kept but fell in disuse over time. Until the Dutch War.
This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home. We shall walk.